And then it's a matter of how much do you want to collect and create back there, and how much do you want to world build. I don't think I do it very much compared to some dungeon master. If you want to do it a lot more and have reams of just have notebooks of all of this stuff, go for it. Go crazy. Just don't neglect prepping for the stage and prepping for what the players experience. Okay, so is there a way I can accidentally overcomplicate big bads? Like you add way too much backstory beliefs enemies. So the thing about D&D is that world building and lore and background and all the wild stuff we come up with that we can't wait to tell the party about, none of it actually exists. It's all fairy dust. It's all in our heads. Think about the table kind of like a theater production. And you've got the stage, which is the table, and the stage is active from when the session starts to when the session ends. And our world building exists entirely in the backstage. We've got in some cases literal like foam boards. We've got scenes, we've got characters, we've got all this stuff. Until it comes out in front of the players, until it comes out onto the stage, none of it exists. And so we can have, or you could also think of it like an iceberg. Like the bit that we reveal is up here, even though under the surface of the water, it goes deep, right? And there's a good and a bad to that. On the one hand, it can feel, sometimes it can feel like we have to have so much back there, right? That it's really stressful. I've got to build this entire world to justify the big bad, and they've got to have motivations. They've got to have all of this. I mean, sure, probably eventually. But that initial introduction, that initial time on stage, that first tip of the iceberg, it can just sort of imply things, right? My favorite way to use this is to basically turn, like you've heard about the idea of like plot hooks before, right? And a plot hook is usually like, oh, somebody, traveler on the road says, hey, will you help me find the legendary sword up in the hills? I'm too old to wield it, but I want to find it and see it with my own eyes before I perish. That's like a hook, right? That they could, the quest hook, plot hook, whatever you want to call it, that if the players want to snatch that and engage with that, they could go off in who knows what sort of direction. I kind of think that everything in the game is like that. Think about it like backstory, lore hooks, right? If I have a vampire big bad and the party has their first run-in with this vampire, and I might mention that there's a specific sigil design or like a crest on their cloak that looks like almost royal in the gold outline of the symbol. And if the encounter goes on and nobody asks any more about that, okay, well, that may be as far as it ever goes. If they don't engage with it, if they don't want to call that information to stage, it just stays backstage. The value of what's backstage is that backstage stuff can always change. Once it comes on stage, it's locked in. Now this is part of the ongoing story. Now this is real. Now that's my approach to world building. I have lots of ideas. Most of it's not in stone until it shows up at the table. And I like doing that just because I don't like there to be a big distance between what I've prepped and what my players are experiencing. I like to keep those two things very, very close together. I'm prepping a session, they experience the session, I see what they engage with, I know that's what I need to develop further. Hey, they seem really interested in this symbol, this crest on the cloak. I better sit down for a few minutes and figure out what that means, because they're going to ask more questions about it. They're going to take this symbol and go try to find out more information about it. So, can you overcomplicate something? Sure. I don't know that it's something to stress about necessarily, as long as you keep in mind that the important thing is what goes on stage in front of your players. The session experience is kind of what directs everything. It's probably true that you can never have too many things backstage, keep them organized, uh, keep it in mind, but just know that for anything, if you have, you know, 2 pages, 3 pages, 10 pages of notes about this thing, uh, you probably only need to actually recollect like one or two or three things that you might drop into a session as a clue. And if the players don't grab a hold of it, it can just sit back there and wait. And then it's a matter of how much do you want to collect and create back there, and how much do you want to world build. I don't think I do it very much compared to some dungeon master. If you want to do it a lot more and have reams of just have notebooks of all of this stuff, go for it. Go crazy. Just don't neglect prepping for the stage and prepping for what the players experience. Hey, RPG Grimo, how's it going? Whatever you do with game history world building, do not cast sleep spell on the players with a 3 page or more info dump. Don't do it. It's so true. It's so true. Like, well, and the thing is, right? Like, if you listen to your players, there are things that they are going to, over time, want, probably only paragraph by paragraph, but they want those lore dumps. You just have to, like, listen for it. For instance, there are things in my world that I think are super fascinating. It's what I would want to dig into. I do things like I'll drop magic items to the party, like 2 items that have names and indications that they were crafted by like the same wizard at some point. Just wildly different places. And I find that kind of stuff super interesting. It's super, super subtle, but to pick up on it and like grab it and run with it, that would be really interesting. Okay, nobody's really grabbed that and investigated. That's cool. But I also have a player that's specifically asking for information about dragons. Like they want to learn about them. They want to find out how to. I mean, I think ultimately they want to like have a pet dragon. But like the pathway there is learning a lot about dragons, and I've been basically drip feeding that to them through the campaign. So if you listen to the things that they engage with, and sometimes just translate your lore into the context of that, like maybe I have a bunch of information about dragons, or maybe I could say, well, let me take this character whose lore I care about and connect them to dragons in this way. And now that's a way to sort of deliver these bits of information as they research. Oh yeah, never do that. Well, do what you want, but there be dragons that way. It's a thorny like I've even so I don't watch actual plays. Obviously, I spend hours doing this kind of stuff, so I don't have the time to watch Critical Role, Dimension 20, things like that. But I like to poke in to like, okay, it's going to be it's Critical Role's new campaign. I want to see that first session. I want to see how things kick off. That's kind of interesting. And boy, is there lore. Boy, is there just and it works for them. They're producing a different kind of thing than everybody else. But I do worry it's like, oh man, that's probably giving a really bad idea to a lot of DMs, thinking like, I need to be like Matt Mercer. I need to be like these amazing DMs. I need to have this long Lord of the Rings style introductory speech bringing people into the world. And it's like, really, like you probably need to just focus on the characters, put them into an interesting situation as soon as you possibly can, and make sure that they know how to engage with the world. That's critical. Otherwise, yeah, it's a little bit of casting sleep, unfortunately. I mean, if you have lore, if you have history to share, do that with a side shot, do that with a one shot. Play your history. That's the best way I know to deliver history and lore dumps. Let people play through it.